Our viewers, sorry for the break. And again today, we will not have regular guests here. They all have something doing, and it's a voluntary assignment. So when they come, we use them. When they are not available, we'll do 20 minutes and go. So like we're having the former one. Now it's difficult for us to have our topics done on TV because we have just 15 minutes and we're supposed to review stories as well. But Father's Day is Sunday, and on behalf of all children, I want to wish all fathers a happy Father's Day. And remember, Father's Day is actually not a husband's day, neither is it an uncle's day. It's not spiritual Father's Day, it's biological Father's Day. So let's not waste energy to force ourselves to, as it were, push a celebration beyond our reach by going to celebrate, as it were, potential fathers or anybody who is not directly a biological person on us. It's just like the women's own, the mother's own, is what enacted Father's Day is a father, not a father figure, is a biological father that we set aside a day to celebrate them for being there for us. So it is not about somebody who is not paying fees or somebody who is paying fees, somebody who is providing or somebody who is not providing. So ideally, fathers, simply put, are the biological male in the life of every human being. So happy Father's Day to all those who has put some women in the family way and they have given birth and they have named the child and accepted that the children are theirs. Having said that, this is also not to give men license to have children without being proper caretakers of the children. The fact is that if you have children, you are supposed to, as it were, make sure that you take good care of them. It is your responsibility to take care of the children. It is your responsibility to pay the fees of the children. It is your responsibility to make sure that these children grow to have a better future in terms of provision. So when you don't pay their fees, when you don't give them what must make them live, it becomes difficult for you to be called a proper, responsible father. So I encourage anybody watching me who has a child and you have neglected your responsibility and you are not making things the way it's supposed to be, do your best and give them what they deserve. And by so doing, we'll be able to run the show as fathers in our own corner. So happy Father's Day to all responsible fathers. And no matter what it is, one day, we will get it done correctly. Having said all these ones, there are a lot of people who know where their father is, but because of hurt and pain in their heart, they have also refused to show their fathers that they are sons and they are daughters. Your father is in the village and you are hurt because somebody told you what he was supposed to do and he didn't do. When he had money, he was chasing women. And now that you are struggling, you don't want to have anything to do with him. If you have a hurt against your father and you are angry because of your father's attitude, I encourage you to use the anger to bring a positive change and a turnaround in the place. Like I said, the attitude of the president as a result of somebody not standing to observe the toil of our forefathers and the blood brought a lot of change and an encouragement to me that we can. Everybody has their view, but that's my point of view. That if the president was angry because somebody didn't stand and brought a change that a chief realized that I need to go and apologize, and he did, then whoever is watching me as a father who up to date, you don't know where your children sleeps, you don't know what they eat, You don't know what they wear. They only carry your name and walk around. If good names are better than riches, then the names your children are carrying and the way they look, the way they behave, is having a bigger toll on the family name. Will you please do something about it? Yes, the condition is difficult. Yes, financially you are not standing well. Yes, things are not right with you. Maybe even you, things are okay with you, but you have a certain level of anger against their mother, and that is why you are misbehaving. Please pull back. Realize that you brought the children into this world, and the children must represent you very well. If they are representing who you are, then as a father, I encourage you, don't just be angry. Use your anger as a tool to change your attitude. Look for your children. The story in the Bible, for those of you who believe in the word of God, the story in the Bible about the prodigal son. There were two sons, and the guy asked for his portion of his property. It was a choice of the father to give or not. We come and say the guy went to squander it. But the other part is that it is left with me that my son is asking for his portion of the property of his estate. I don't think I want to share my estate whilst I'm still managing them. So the father took a decision, maybe in anger, that you can come and ask me for your portion, take it and go. And the child took it and went to a far country. Yet the story is that the father kept waiting for the child to come back. Let me encourage you. Don't even give the child to go and come back. Don't allow any of your children to go wayward, to become junkies, to become weed smokers, cocaine crackers. Don't let them go into the slum, the ghettos, and lose them so you can get them back, because the prodigal son's father was there. The lesson I know is that don't even allow your child to become prodigal. There's nothing good about having a prodigal son. There's nothing good about having a prodigal daughter. If you are alive and you have a word that you can give to a prodigal child, please remember, a prodigal child is not a child who has left the house. The story was a man who was rich and positioned the son so well, and the son left. It was how the child was treated that brought him back to the father. It was not the suffering the child was suffering. Because if you go back and read the story, constantly the child kept saying, even in my father's house, even in my father's house. So the child was living in the father's house and had something to compare with. And that is why he went and came back. So if you are a father watching me and your attitude is that, ask yourself, what have you done in the life of the child that when the child become a prodigal daughter, a prodigal son, they will come back? A prodigal daughter will go and come back because they know the value of having a father. They know the value of living in a father's house. They know the value of the toil and the sweat of a father. But this is where you are. Nothing has gone out of you. You've not paid fees before. You can't remember buying school uniform for your child. You can't remember taking him to a school to register him to start school. Ever since the mother got pregnant, your refusal has been the hallmark of this seasonal child growing. Yes, I agree. The sexual intercourse the two of us was having was not meant for pregnancy, but it has happened. Children are supposed to come not by chance, but by choice. And here we are. The pregnancy has gone through 9 months. The woman has delivered. And you are still walking and behaving. You don't have a child? Are you serious? You are behaving, you don't have a child? You are behaving, all is okay? No. Yes, the mistake has happened. I agree. It was sexual intercourse for fun. And none of you thought that this act of sex will land you in where you are. It might sound foolish though, because once you're having sex unprotected, know the outcome. If it's not an infection, then it will be pregnancy. Pregnancy has come. Fast forward. The lady has insulted you. The lady was saying bad things, cursing you, disgracing you. I agree. Because that 9 months condition, you have not been impregnated before. Yes, she was not prepared. But she has to adjust herself to carry the 9 months child. Yes, she too made a mistake. But today the child is born. Today, your child is walking. Today, everybody knows that the child has a father, but the father is not present. Father, hear me. You can be a father and not a husband. And we're not celebrating Husband's Day. We're celebrating Father's Day. This morning, whilst I was rushing, early morning, around 5 a.m., preparing to rush from my house, because if I don't get here early, I will waste the time of the crew. So I was rushing out of the house. Then my son came with a paper that has been wrapped, tied, that they gave him certificates of being the best at something. The small boy just brought it to me. I look at the paper, and the first thing I saw was the length of his name. His full name on the certificate. That he's brought it to me. And it's just a paper that has been given to him for doing well in some particular thing he did in class. He said, teacher said I'm the best. And they gave him. I gave it to the senior sister. I said, go and look for a place to laminate it and come and keep it for him. It's just, he doesn't see me every time. Yes, I am with them. But I leave early, I come late. They will see me once a while. They see me in the morning. When you wake up early, you can catch a glimpse with daddy. Everything they want is provided. We pray together every Monday. I anoint them before they go to school. I do a lot of activities with them. Maybe your father is not like that. But even at a distance, the children should recognize your presence. So you can be absent, but always present in their life. Wives, mothers, side chicks, baby mamas, please let's not jump into conclusion and help make somebody's son a useless father. Because I believe that it's hard for some of us to hit the nail on the head. You are ostracized. You are disrespected. You are given names. People don't want to have anything to do with you. Yes, I know. There are people that don't want to see me. Yes. There are people that they don't see us as positive influences. But one day, they will rise up to a flag. They will rise up to a plaque. They will rise up to a statue. They will rise up to a statement. They will rise up to an image, a content, a voiceover that came from us, which will now be useful to them. But the access to us will not be very, very close anymore. Now that you have me, listen and make use of it. It's Father's Day. And I can see a big thank you to those of you who married women with children. You did well. God bless you that you became a caretaker, because maybe you have enough or you don't have enough, but you still took it upon yourself that once this is my wife's child, I will do. The girl my wife brought to marriage is not our first daughter, but she's older than my children. So why wouldn't I invest in her? Now that she's rising up to become that doctor, that nurse, that teacher, that mechanic, that broadcaster, the father is somewhere. I want to encourage you. Thank you for doing it. But don't get a curse by changing somebody's daughter's name. No matter how much you love your wife, don't change the name of your wife's child she brought to marriage. Don't. Don't justify the reason for changing. And don't insult your fellow man who is not responsible. Rather, encourage your wife that regardless of what you are doing for the child, they will look for where the father is. I know a young lady who could have been a wife by now, but because of the connection to a father, she's not been able to marry. She's 43 years now. And the reason why she's not been able to marry is because this is a simple thing. Every man who comes says, which family do you belong to? Her name gives her up. She has to take her time for more than 10 years looking for the father. She's going to find where the father comes from. Unfortunately, the father is dead, but has met family members of the father. The mother heard that the daughter has finally gone to see where the father is coming from, because the mother never gave her a clue of where the father comes from. Only to hear the mother saying, if you have gone to look for your father, after this many years of taking care of you, I disown you. Go and have connection with your father's family. The girl is torn between the two places. She's 43 years. No husband, no child. She has a profession. The mother has done well, but she has found a connection to the father's side and thought it could be a good news, because anytime he discussed that, and finally she's found them, and the mother has disowned her. The mother doesn't want to hear. She says the daughter is ungrateful to look for the father. Let me say this to you. A mother's prayer will give a daughter and a son protection. But a father's word will give a child a blessing and speed to make it. No matter how your mother is, she can never bless you with speed to make it. Your mother can will for you the biggest estate in the world. But I promise you, the small one your father gives you from a heart carries more blessing and speed than your mother's own. There are limitations in blessing. There are limitations in blessing. And so father's blessing is unique and important. So look at Jacob and Esau. When he took the brother's blessing because the mother connived with him to dress like the brother and go and deceive the father, and took the blessing of the brother. When the brother came back and went back to the father, he cried and said, "Father, don't you have any of the blessings left for me?" The small blessing still made him somebody. So look at the life of Esau. Look at the life of Jacob. They were made by fathers. Every time you read your Bible, it says, "And the father of Jacob, the father of Isaac, the God of the fathers of Abraham." Talk about the sons. The fathers have a blessing. And when your father blesses you, God will support the blessing of your father. When your mother takes the place of your father and refuses you from getting connection from your father, your mother has deprived you of blessings and speed. It's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. You are writing your grandfather's name. Be alarmed. Be worried. Don't be happy. The story was told of your father's uselessness. The story was told that your father doesn't look it. But that's the man who your mother allowed to have sex with. That is the man that your mother allowed to sleep with. All the evil things he's done towards your mother. Remain as a child, not as a mother. Don't fight on behalf of your mother. Don't justify the foolishness or the attitude of your father. Rather, connect to your father. Don't ask him why he did what he did to your mother. But once you saw that what he did was wrong, never treat any woman like that again. Change the record with the blessings of your father. If you think that your mother was not married properly by your father, don't do the same to any woman. Rather, do the opposite. Do the needful. If you realize that your father has lacked education, take his blessing and go for education. If you realize your father never did well in marrying more women, take the blessing and marry less women. I'm saying that it is better for you to live a life that your father will be proud of you than what he was not able to do, what he was not able to achieve. You have achieved them. And wrapping up this morning on this Father's Day issue, I don't know who I am provoking this morning, but how old are you on earth? And how many years now have you stayed having serious loggerheads with your own biological father? How long has it been since you kept praying to God, but the last thing you've ever done is to ask God to give you a heart of forgiveness? Like Jesus said on the cross, my Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they do. Your father has hurt you like you always say to people. Your father has hurt you like you always tell people. You tell people if it is not your father, you could have been better than this. Maybe yes. Maybe not. Why wouldn't you become something for your father to be proud of? That even without his active presence, you have become the lawyer. Even without his active presence, you have become that nurse. Without his active presence, you have become that pastor. This morning, how to treat a father. How to treat a father is very important. If you don't know your father, if your mother has disconnected you from your father, if your mother has made you felt bad about your father, I beg you, reconsider it. You might be living in your mother's hurt. You might be fighting your father because of your mother. Can you please know your father for your own self? Can you know your father for yourself? That on this Father's Day, Sunday, some new news will hit the world. And the news is that for the first time, George Lutrot, who never saw eye to eye with a father, has gone to say, good morning, Daddy. Good morning, my father. Don't think you are a prodigal child. What you are going through is not what the prodigal son went through. What you are going through is not what the prodigal daughter, if there's any, went through. Smoking, sniffing, living a bad life will never affect your father. It will affect you. The fathers or the father of the prodigal son was worried because where your treasure is, that is where your heart is. The father of the prodigal son kept on thinking about the son because the boy left with his wealth. The boy left with his property. The boy left with things from him. The boy left with something that he treasures. The boy left with a property that he knew that if this guy could have kept it, he would be away from poverty. But my question was, why will you succumb to a crying baby who is hungry? Why will you use anger to give him the hot porridge to create sore in his mouth and take him back to the hospital to treat it? Deprive him of the hot porridge. Let the baby cry until the porridge is cool. And when you finish cooling the porridge, the baby can never say, I am angry with you, so I won't drink. Force the porridge on the child to drink when it is cool, so you have energy. Today he won't understand it. 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the line, that son, that daughter will understand the decision you took to insist that they learn how to sew, than go to school and become nothing. Some decisions that our parents took for us is what is putting food on our table today. We fought their decisions. We fought our fathers. We didn't give them the green light. But what they were seeing sitting, we never saw standing. You are not your father's co-equal. And you cannot be your father's co-equal. Even your mother is not your father's co-equal. How much more you? Why are you fighting your father? Why are you fighting your father? Why are you making everybody see your father as a useless man? Why are you making everybody know the man who gave birth to you is not worth celebrating? Don't you feel ashamed? Don't you feel ashamed that you carry the blood, you carry the DNA of the man you are insulting? Don't you feel you are insulting yourself? Don't you feel saying useless means that he didn't use everything in useful? He was not using full. He never had your opportunity, you got him. His father never neglected him. His father didn't sack him from the house. He lived with his father, but he didn't take care of you. Maybe the time is up. The time is now, where you will use your anger as you're watching me to look for your father. Cry, like Jacob said, my father, bless me too. Go to your father. Don't ask what happened between you and my mother. They never married your mother. Yes, they kept telling you how your mother went to perch in somebody's marriage, slept with somebody's husband, and went through the shame and disgrace, so they didn't finish Form 4 and delivered you. It's a true story. But there's a story behind the story. The man was somebody's husband, but it's your father. We are not discussing somebody's husband. It's not somebody's husband's day. Unfortunately, it's Father's Day. Whoever your father is, find a space in your heart Don't forgive him. Let go. You are too small to forgive your father. You are too small, insignificant to tell your father, I have forgiven you. It is a curse for a child to forgive the father. It is a curse for a child to tell the father, media child, bonibi awayemi. It's a curse for you. And if you do it, it will follow you forever. Don't ever say so. And don't sit anywhere and say, me papa share me anka. And ye my brabo nie. Me papa share me anka. And ye ne. O papa share wangwewu. Bra wa bre. Nyama wa fem. Monato police station. Entrocha. Adapecha. Baby abedani asem. Nyama wa fem a wunwuye no. Undeti anwuye. O papa din na da wo so nti na besi ede. Owo bia emba wa kwam. Hwe no wan kasentia wo awu moja. Sana papa ye ofe. Na me fere mpo se mega se papa nie. Ja jimie no. Ja jimie no. Ja jimie no. Ja jimie no. Na o papa eno mame anwale a eno nkyere se onye senseni. O mame no papa anwale a eno nkyere se yo senseni. If your mother and father never got married, it's not license for you to become useless. You should be using full. Don't just be, look, nobody lives and become nothing. If you are alive, you are either useful or you are useless, which means you are used in full or you are useless. If you die, nobody will use you less or use you in full. But when you are alive, there are two things that should happen. Either you are using full or you are used less. Rise up from the nonsense. Wakuma nenye ama weni ajeno. Ena mami papa wari yanka enye no kure. Isaac no ni Rebecca oma wale. Ena wo Jacob eni Esau. Ne ba se awade ne ewo ho na Isaac yes so be shira ne ba panyin no. Why ne kodi ntro kire keto an so papa so shira panyin no. Enya ne yire na. Isaac eni Rebecca awade engu. Awade no wo ho. Ana refi. Ena Jacob ne Esau ekofa ajapade ni nsem nhira. So it is not about the marriage that will make you who you are. It's about the father's blessing. Watch me. Your pastor's blessing has limitation until it meets your father's blessing. I want to see it. Your pastor's blessing has limitation until it hits on your father's blessing. Go and kneel down and ask for your father to bless you. He will be useless. He has no property. Why is your father 74, 75, 80 years with no property but alive? If the guy is useless, still living in a family house, he has no property in East Legon, he has no property in Adregano, he has no property in Labone in Cantonment, he still lives in a family house in Teshin, a small room, but still alive. Go for his blessing and then come and do your tuno in church. Let the pastor pray for you, because the foundational blessing is the most important. For my Bible says, for if the foundation is corrupt, what can the righteous do? You carry the name of your father Lutrot, build upon it, but the first block is the name, and that name must be sanctioned by your father. Stop fighting your father. You are in America, you are watching me. You are in UK, you are watching me. You are in Italy, you are in Europe, you are watching me. The relationship between your father is nasty. So you can't even remember calling him to say hi. Can you, in the first place, for the first time in 2023, the year of lights, in the month of divine helpers, look for your father's number. Call him. Eja, Obenie, George, Ewo Amsterdam. Na me frewe. Hey, and I me koda he. And now frɛ me. Eja, owa be mani. Enne eja nom da. Me gyina da yi so, I will show eja pada. Happy Father's Day, eja. Na Nyankopɔn enko so ntumi nsɛm. Na menye yi. Oma wo kwatenten. Na onana no ntumi fa hwɛ wo. Eja na mesrɛ wo nsɛm hyira. Hyira me. Sɛ wo ba be ma. Look, you have done the best. Remember, no father will want to be taken care of by the children. No. Eya just adwe no. Say o ma me frɛ wa. O be ma papa bibia no afrɛ ma me. Ma. Chama na afrɛ me no. O papa la afrɛ chama no. O bodam. Ma. Ukru na afrɛ me no. Mi kru bɛn. Enyam papa. O se ye ne dɛn. Se se ɔde ne nyama na ba so ho. Se bosumi wo bɛ se ɔtɔ ni nduro. O bɛ se ɔtɔ ni nduro. O boni dia na makoma ba. O ma me de ne kuma betuma ba na wo nso e. Na wan frɔ ma me na ye dɛn. No, wan frɔ ma me na ye dɛn. O papa frɛ o frɔ ma me age dɛn. Wouldn't say the kuma be bad, the people be kosoro, who be say kuma me. Now what boy my man so the aje den. Who the record be ye den. Who papa na afre wo. Your father just gave you a call. Meba. Boko there. And ne bibi ni me ho. Send me bibi na me fa enso ma ade so entia me light. Eja, mate. Don't ask your father who this can ko ye den. Uwo bio, uni bio, kase jampa cho, mate. Men frau mame, don't call your mother. Or so up saying 3,000. Or the 3,000 ko ye den. Sa baya ne ebe jeni ko ye na. Oni ne shabra basi, amukotina shalibotwe, etwa wenum, ewi nentwinama, membre to me, hunyama de tia office no. Sa girl no wa hine no bisa 3,000. Eyo papa. Hey, your papa, men can't say, when I pa mano, me can you say no, mommy 5,000 and tell you. You just gave your mother 5,000, your father is asking for 3,000 for medication. Okay, yeah, oh, papa. Nyami was so near to Yanaka, Nyami saw to back at everyone couldn't them. And the crappas and Yami to your back and on frail and bisau. But immediately your father can recognize you are my son, and he has nothing, so he comes to call you, son, do something, daughter, do something. Listening to your mother, but honor your father. My cousin. Listening to your mother, but honor your father. What your mother is saying is true. He's sucking from pain. He sold his cloth to pay your fees. Some will tell you painful things. Your father says what? Tell your father the money your mother went to borrow to pay your fees. You are still paying for it. When you finish paying, you get him something. That's what your mother told you to tell him. Don't be a fool. You are not a prodigal son, though. Because the prodigal son took the father's property away. And that is why the father's heart was following him. Me, my father's heart will never follow me because my father has not shared his property yet. So I will never be a prodigal son. But I'll make my father proud that even though he didn't pay my fees, even though he didn't take care of me, he will stand somewhere and hit his hand on his chest. You see that boy sitting on TV? That is my last born. Wow. Then people say, every day when you talk, I sense your voice in that guy's voice. Shit. That's the blessing. May the Lord bless you with the patience you have gotten today to watch me. Maybe you're not watching the live broadcast. You came to watch me on YouTube. Maybe you're even watching me after Father's Day. Father's Day should be a day for you every day. Father's Day should not be one day set aside, but per your attitude. Your husband have not seen your father before, but can insult your father like he is his co-equal. Why? Because you have painted that picture to that stupid man. A man who insults a father is stupid and is a potential useless father like your father. Yes, your husband came to marry you without your father's blessing. Your marriage will not work. So this Father's Day, break the silence. Carry your husband after preparing your father to your father's house for a blessing. Don't be proud. Go to your father. Eja, ache. I've been waiting to have this opportunity to come. Daddy, forgive me. I am your daughter. This is AC Lutrot. This is Elizabeth Lutrot. This is Georgina Lutrot. I've not been good. My pride took me away from you. But I've come to you today to ask for your forgiveness, Daddy. Please forgive me, Daddy. Kneel down in front of your father and ask for forgiveness. Don't ask me, what have I done? He didn't pay my fees. And so, if he didn't pay my fees, if it's not the help of other people, will I be what I am today? And go for blessing. So that whoever paid your fees will have profits. Because the Father's blessing will speed whatever anybody has done for you. He didn't buy a land. Yes. He didn't give you a house, but he gave you a name. You too, in my final lap, you are watching me. Your mother gave you his father's name. So actually, you are a child of your grandfather. Girl, don't smile. Boy, don't be happy. Bible says that. And when Ephraim and the brother were sent to their grandfather to bless them, he changed his hand and gave the adult blessing to the junior one. That was a grandfather's blessing. When Noah was naked and the children went to see his nakedness, he didn't curse the son, he cursed the grandchild. Because if he cursed the son, it will be difficult. Hear my story. Whatever it is that you are writing your grandfather's name, wake up, change it. Hey, it's not easy. See your documents. You are graduated. You are a pastor. You are a doctor. You are a police officer. You are an immigration officer. You are a politician. You are in a higher office. You have used your mother's name. But this time, get the attitude of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Be angry for a change. Rise up and say, I can't continue writing my mother's name. Let me go for an adoring ceremony, for a naming ceremony. No matter what the story is, why my father didn't come to name me, I don't need a story anymore. I want to write my father's name. I'm telling you, immediately you change that name and pick up your father's name, there is a blessing waiting for you. There is a blessing coming to give you speed. There is a particular change of environment. The gossip will go so loud. He is no more called Lutrot. We didn't know the mother's name was Lutrot. His father is rather Home. He has gone to take the father's name. This is a courageous man. This man has gone well. Change the name. You have made your wife write the name of your mother. This is why your marriage is failing. You know the company is not going on because you are using your mother's name. Not because you want to honor your mother, but because you are angry with your father. A word to a wise is enough. There are too many of you who are old and you have nothing to do with your father. Yes, it will affect your passport, I agree. But there's something called swearing and affidavits, so that any other document still valid, but I've gone back for my father's name. I pray for you that if there's anything called God and his blessings, may that particular God and his blessings follow you. That's this particular venture you have started, the expedition to your father's kingdom, let it become fruitful for you. Happy Father's Day to all fathers who impregnated a woman. Whether you collected a child or you didn't collect a child, you are a father. Be a proud father. Open your arms. Do the roll call. Look for all the children. Even if their mothers are angry, get in touch with me and let's bring the children. Give them names. Some people sent the name via text and they disregarded the names. Please go back and reconnect the child to your name. How do you get me to help you? On 0277 609 644. And let me use the speaker opportunity I have to wish my father, Mr. Jerry Alexander Lutrot, a happy Father's Day. On behalf of all the children you have produced in the world, I happen to be one of the best among them. And I am proud of myself. And I'm proud of you being my father. I wish you a happy Father's Day. Your input in giving me this name is much appreciated. I salute you, Daddy, and a happy Father's Day to you. And to all hurting wives and baby mamas, may you find a space in your heart to forgive fathers. You are not their children. You are the mothers of their children. So forgive them. They didn't act well. But one good thing deserves another. One bad thing deserves a forgiveness. Look in your heart and forgive that father of the child, so you can connect the child back to the father. Happy Father's Day. On behalf of myself and all children, we wish you happy Father's Day. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your morning, enjoy your afternoon. Just go back and watch me on YouTube. Why Father's Day must be celebrated. Why you should forgive a father and not a father forgiving you. Look for Counselor Lutrot on YouTube. Counselor Lutrot TV, YouTube. Now that you're watching me live on Facebook, press the follow button. And forever when I come, you have a pop-up that I've come. God bless you. Stay in the blessings of God. But remember, the blessings of God works when the father's blessing is there and it comes to push you. God recognizes fathers. Don't deprive your children of their father because you are angry. Once again, 0277 609 644. And remember, the ginger honey chips is the best. Choose some. I came coughing, and now I'm leaving no more coughing. Why? Because I chewed ginger honey chips. Choose some. Choose some, and your life will not be the same again. Ginger honey chips is in Ghana. It's a long time I gave you eduro raba. Me eduro nika crancho. This is ginger honey chips. It finds itself in the United States of America, all the 51 states. 862-215-2007. Order yours now. Choose some, and you'll love the way it is. I brought you that one. Then I bring you Tonga Tali capsules. Tonga Tali capsules is for men. Just take one a day to boost the flow of your blood, so your sexual activity will become better. Bema tiasia, ne bema ne sadia, odani tugbele, Jimmy. Green tea for that belly of yours. Numbi from Tonga Tali family. Tonga Tali ginseng coffee for men. Just a cup every morning. You enjoy it. Don't forget, when women get to stages of their life where their sex drive has gone to zero, they need nothing to revive it except one thing called this one, the libido enhancer from Tonga Tali family. My sister, my brother, don't wait for your father to look for you, because you are not a prodigal daughter, but rather look for your father so that you can get a father's blessing. Happy Father's Day once again. Bye-bye.